Imagine that right at this moment, you are trapped in an invisible cycle. A cycle that, without you even realizing it, keeps pushing away the prosperity you so deeply desire. Most people believe that in order to get rich, all you need to do is work hard, pay off debt, and save every penny. But what if I told you that there's one silent mistake that, until you correct it, will continue to sabotage all your efforts? The most shocking part? This mistake was taught to you from a young age as if it were the right thing to do. Family, school, society, all played a role in reinforcing this mental programming that keeps millions stuck in scarcity. Today, you're going to discover what this mistake is, the one that keeps so many people poor, why fixing it is more important than making more money, and how to reprogram your mind to finally enter the flow of true wealth. And if you stick with me until the end, I'll also share a simple practice you can start today no matter your current financial situation. The trap begins early. We're taught to focus constantly on what we lack. Since childhood, we've heard things like money doesn't grow on trees. If you're born poor, you die poor, or you have to save every penny or you'll starve. These aren't just phrases. They shape our worldview, feed our fears, and condition us to live in a constant state of scarcity, fear of loss, and anxiety about the future. The real tragedy is, the more you focus on what's missing, the more lack you create. That's because your subconscious mind acts like a magnet, attracting more of what you hold as your dominant focus. So now I ask you, have you been focusing more on what's missing or on the opportunities for growth around you? The fatal mistake that keeps so many people trapped in poverty is simple: letting debt control your mental state. Most people believe they can only begin to prosper after paying off all their debts. That's a trap. If you put debt at the center of your emotional attention, you are reinforcing the state of scarcity within yourself. Truly prosperous people don't let debt dictate their emotions, decisions, or vision for the future. Bob Proctor used to say, "It doesn't matter where you are financially. What matters is where your emotional focus is." If you wake up every day thinking about debt, feeling guilty, anxious, or stuck, your subconscious understands that debt is your natural state, and it will work hard to keep you exactly there. The solution is not to fight the debt. The real shift begins when you change your focus. Instead of asking, "How will I ever get out of debt?" start asking, "How can I create new sources of value? How can I grow? How can I expand?" What you focus on expands. The human mind is an extraordinarily powerful tool, but it's neutral. It simply amplifies whatever you feed it. If you focus on problems, you create more problems. If you focus on growth, you create growth. To show you how this shift in focus can transform lives, let me tell you a real story. One of Bob Proctor's students, who was drowning in debt with a ruined credit score, spent years trying to put out fires. He would panic with every debt collection call, take out loans to cover other loans, and lived in a constant cycle of stress and shame. Life felt more suffocating with each passing day, until one day, tired of repeating the same pattern, he decided to apply what he had learned, change his focus. Instead of using all his energy trying to patch holes and survive another month, he did something counterintuitive. He stopped focusing on the problem and focused entirely on creating value. He started small, very small. He looked at his skills, as basic as they seemed, and asked himself, "How can I help someone today? How can I make someone's life easier or better?" That's when he came up with the idea of offering small services in his neighborhood: mowing lawns, painting fences, cleaning basements and garages. Simple manual jobs, but done with care, dedication, and a commitment to delivering real value. At first, the money was little. Things were still tight, but with each job well done, something inside him started to shift. He began to feel useful, valuable, capable, and gradually, his income started to grow. One neighbor recommended him to another, who recommended him to another. Within a few months, he had more work than he could handle alone. Seeing the opportunity, he organized himself, formed a small team, formalized his service, and started operating more professionally. Within 2 years, he had not only paid off all his debts, he had also built a small amount of wealth. He even invested in education to develop new skills and opened a home maintenance company that now serves the entire region. Now, pay close attention to this. What changed first wasn't the money. It was his mind. He was still in debt when he began to change the way he saw himself and where he directed his energy. He was still getting collection calls when he stopped seeing himself as a desperate debtor and began to see himself as a creator of value. This story is a real and powerful example that what happens on the outside is always a reflection of what happens on the inside. When you change your mindset, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your external reality will inevitably begin to rearrange itself. It's like rewriting the internal script of a movie. The actor is still on stage, the audience is still watching. But now, with a new script in hand, the whole story changes. And you can start this shift today with a EO. Simple exercise: grab a notebook, list all your financial worries. Then next to each one, write a question that expands you. For example, next to "I have high debt," write, "What creative ways can I find to generate new income sources?" Then read those questions every morning and visualize solutions emerging. The goal of this exercise is to reprogram your brain to seek growth instead of drowning in problems. Over time, your subconscious will get used to operating in solution mode instead of survival mode. If there's only one thing you remember from this video, let it be this: your financial life changes the moment you stop reacting to debt and start acting with a focus on abundance. Debt is just an effect. The real problem and the real solution is in your mind. Now, if this content resonated with you, hit the like button so YouTube can show this message to more people. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because every week I bring practical content on mindset reprogramming, prosperity, and personal development. And tell me in the comments, what is the biggest financial block you feel you need to change right now? I'd love to hear your story, and maybe even respond personally in a future video. Remember, the change you're looking for begins within you, and it can begin right now. See you in the next video.